this video, we bring you a special report on the state of Malaysia's supermarkets. Over 2 days, our good friend here, Jonathan, decided to pay 9 of these supermarkets a visit to check out what are their prices, what is on offering, how does the hypermarket or supermarket smell like, what is the staff like, what kind of foods are they fresh, not fresh, things like that. So just to name the 9 supermarkets, you have NSK, too busy to find stock ideas. Check out FIRL Pro to shortcut your research time and effort by 90%. 10% off link in the comments and description. You have Jai Grocer, Lotus, which is now Thailand owned, I believe. Mydin, Giant, Hero, Big, Village Grocer, and Value Mart. I've actually seen all of them except Value Mart. I didn't know something like that exists.
Yeah, TF Value Mart is actually something similar to NSK Grocer, but then they are a little bit older because I think they have established like very long time ago. Whereas for NSK Grocer, they just launched their their premium mark, I think was around like 2021 to 2020.
Yeah. Before we start, let's just tell people which one is your favorite.
In terms of for value for consumer, it's definitely Lotus. Yeah, this one is definitely if you want to buy like cheap, very cheap stuff, right? And then you want to go for cleanliness, hygiene, Lotus is definitely the go-to. But if you want, let's say quality, more choices, then definitely you want to go to I'll say Village Grocer, and you have the money to spend, it's definitely Village Grocer.
Okay.
But okay, so if you want to go for more affordable one, definitely you want to look at Lotus. So Lotus, they sell at the cheapest price, a lot of own brands, and then the cleanliness is actually very, very clean. Or maybe it's because it's a new outlet in Ara Damansara, is where I visited. That's why it looks pretty much of a very great hygiene. And then if you want to go for more choices and better quality or higher quality one, then you want to go for Village Grocer. But of course, this one is more expensive compared to the rest of these outlets that I visited. Okay, so number one takeaway that I've learned, right, is the largest the largest hypermarket is actually Aeon Big.
Yeah.
It's about 41.5 thousand square feet. This one I visited in just right beside of Subang Parade only. But this I didn't visit the 2.2 million square feet, which is in around Bukit Tinggi, Klang. Yeah, that one is like the longest or the biggest.
Yeah, but that's Klang lah. So who's traveling there, right?
Yeah, correct.
But does big mean, what advantages does the size bring? Because I would imagine that on paper you can get the most amount of goods in because of the square footage. But it's also, going to hypermarkets, one of the key things is also the buying experience, right? So if I have to travel, basically use my passport to go from different departments or sections, right, then it's not a good feeling, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very, very big, definitely you can find any goods over there, whatever things you can find. But the buying experience, obviously, if let's say you want to buy like, for example, like oil, and then you want to buy things like your bread, probably it's going to be like from one segment to another. You have to walk quite far.
There you go, right? So the mango and the fish, is 1 kilometer apart,
Yeah, something like that.
So it's correct that it's actually not that pleasant.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Right.
It's also, it's basically the gap between each of the product is very far away.
But the good part is one other part of supermarkets also congestion, right? So was it
that day?
Was that solved?
The congestion part, that one is somewhat solved because the crowd wasn't a lot.
Okay,
it's quite spacious. It seems quite spacious. But I'm not sure about weekend. Probably weekend there will be more people.
Okay.
That's what I would like to assume. The second one is cheapest, which is Lotus. And it's very clean also. Initially, I thought that Lotus was also quite big, but then Aeon is obviously the biggest because they are quite spacious. It's like you can fit in like a lot of crowd, but thankfully, that time when I visit, right, the crowd wasn't that big. So there is one. And then one interesting thing about Lotus is that they have a lot of their own brand kind of like products. So there is like your detergent, some of the honey, soy sauce, even biscuit, they also put their own name. Even sugar. Yeah, this was quite interesting to see that why do they have their own sugar when you already have MSM and CSR, which is charging at a similar price.
Yeah, it's very, very, very
I think
maybe it's white labeling. They're just taking existing brands and just putting a Lotus. Because I would imagine this would not sit too well with their suppliers, right? Because now you're competing.
Yeah, correct.
And you have every interest to put all this, up there. Yeah. But I want to ask you, what is the price difference? So when you say cheapest, let's say, I don't know which goods you have in mind, but how much cheaper is it?
Yeah, so for instance, like your toilet paper, right? generally, if let's say you want to buy like those 3-ply, 2-ply kind of like toilet rolls, which is 10 rolls in one packet, right? They will sell around like 15 to 16 ringgit. But then for Lotus, they are selling around like 11.
Oh, so that's almost 30%.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
about
correct,
there.
correct. But you also need to see the ply, because it
I
depends
see.
on the softness and the thickness of the
You can't
the
just
one
compare
tissue.
it, yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
But the price wise is definitely cheaper. But the bad thing about this is that they don't really have much of a choices for toilet tissue brands in Lotus compared to like other hypermarkets.
I see. So is it correct to say that Lotus has a lot of things, but for that one thing, there aren't many options?
Yes, correct.
So
Yeah, yeah.
high amount of SKUs, but for each category, limited options.
So far for the toilet one, yes, that one is
Okay,
limited.
okay,
but the
okay.
rest I think is still fine.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So that is Lotus, and also because they are hypermarket, so that means they are selling clothes also. So there's clothes, there's also TVs, there's also washing machines, there's also stove. A lot of like house appliances are inside Lotus. Number 3, the most expensive out of all of these.
This must be the one near Paradigm Mall, right?
No, this one is actually in
Easy.
USJ1.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is Giant Mall. It doesn't look like this when I visited. Obviously, there's like products over here. But it is like a dead mall already. I mean, you can see the crowd is getting smaller and smaller. I mean, I can even count like how many people is there with my 2 hands. So that's how bad Giant is. And by the way, the price comparison is based on the exact same product, the exact same principle that they source from. So like for instance, like Pantene, let's say the Pantene hair shampoo, right? 110 ml. Let's say you buy it from Giant and you buy it from Lotus. Which one is cheaper? Lotus is cheaper. Yeah. So apparently they have like these kind of like price difference. And probably also it's because of the rental fee. That's why they charge their products a little bit higher in Giant. But yeah, so far Giant is the not so affordable one. But the good thing about Giant is that they repurpose their mall. So they use some of the like the upper floor one. So they use it as pickleball and also badminton.
At least they are pivoting better than the Star or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. But this one actually managed to grab in a lot of crowd. From what I've seen, So people usually don't go there to do their groceries, but they go there to play pickleball.
That's good. I guess.
Okay, the fourth one, if you are buying like meats or fishes and you want more choices, right? Don't visit. I wouldn't say don't visit, but then they have like a very lack of choices for TF Value Mart and also for Giant Grocer. For TF Value Mart, it's only like a very small segment. Then they have I think 1 or 2 guy who is doing the slaughtering of the chicken only.
The butcher.
Butcher. Giant Grocer also is around like 3 to 4 people. But if you go visit other hypermarkets, right, usually there's like 5 people. It's quite a number of people, and it's quite long also for their fish and also meat segment. So yeah, definitely these two they have lack of meat and fish choices. Okay, the fifth one, which is very rare. This is actually a fun fact, or maybe it's just my own experience only. When I was trying to look for sugar and salt, usually sugar and salt is placed at different shelves or different aisle. So like let's say if I found sugar over here, right? I cannot find sugar like right beside, or I cannot find sugar like behind me. So maybe it's like located like somewhere another side.
Interesting. You didn't realize.
Yeah. So the only rare company or the hypermarket that actually placed side by side was NSK Grocer. Yeah. This one when I was finding, it's like, wow, this is actually genius.
Yeah, this is smart. Yeah, this is a good buying experience.
Yeah, it's very, very easy for me to like see straight away sugar then salt. But one thing also that they place at a similar aisle, which is the oil and rice. Because what I've discovered was that oil and rice is like both necessity products. So usually they put it together. But this one is kind of like standardized across all of the hypermarket. Yeah. So I don't know why they put salt and sugar at a separate aisle. Yeah, this one is quite of a fun fact. Okay, so number 6, which is fixed pricing goods. We have over here, which is eggs, somewhat similar, but then you can see that Lotus, they sell like 10% cheaper only. Mydin, they sell like 49, 39%, 39 cents more expensive.
So you must be referring to the tray here, right?
Yes, egg tray. Yeah, correct. But generally speaking, they all sell almost similar prices. Also, Hero Mart is selling at 12 ringgit. And this is grade A eggs. For one of the hypermarket, which is the TF Value Mart, they don't have grade A. Is why I've noticed they only sell grade B eggs. And then chicken also, they have their own pricing. You can see that it's all diverse. But the 2 products that is actually selling at similar price or I think this one is like some sort of like price control already, which is the Gardenia Classic Jumbo and also Sugar. Obviously, Sugar 285. Whereas for the bread, right, this one they sell like around 430. Everywhere I see is also the same price. The same price. Then another one, you may be thinking that oil, maybe they also sell like similar prices, but actually it's not. Some of them actually sell cheaper. Some of them sell at the higher prices. So you
Yeah,
can
but
see
it's
that.
minuscule. They're just fighting for very small amounts.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Okay,
warm
number
or
7.
dim?
This one is basically the lighting. For Maidin, I'm not sure those who shop in Maidin, right? How is your experience? But when I was there, it was quite dark. It was quite dim. So it's like a little bit tough for me to see the prices. Not to say like it's very dark lah, but then the environment is very dark. And then another one which is TF value. Maybe it's because of the outlet that I went was quite old. But yeah, the lighting was actually very, very bad.
These are your pictures of what you found on Google?
This is what I found on Google.
Okay.
Yeah, if I take my picture, I think there will be some lighting. Definitely my phone will be much more brighter. But do visit. Like this one is in USJ 1. This one is in USJ 19 City Mall. You can tell the difference between these two in terms of the lighting. Okay, so the final comparison here is the financials. You can see that
Lotus.
Aeon Big and also for Maidin, these two companies are currently making at the losses. Well, actually Lotus also right now, we just got some of the latest SSM data. So Lotus, Maidin, and also Aeon Big, these three hypermarkets are making losses. I think Giant also is making losses also. So generally speaking, right, most of these hypermarket who actually don't take care of their rental costs or maybe even how they sell their products, right, the prices, right. I think it will also affect their profit.
Yeah, you can see Maidin and Aeon, which covers more. Maybe you can say B40, M40 section is not, but Village Grocer is the number 1. I would say after that is Jaya and Lotus, right? These two are also closer to Village Grocer than Maidin Aeon.
So for Village Grocer, why they can make a higher profit margin is about 6%, right? It's because number 1, obviously there's traffic. Number 2, they are positioning themselves as a higher quality, premium one.
Just below quality, like the Bands and the Mercatos of the world. Yeah.
Yes, correct. And so far they have been doing pretty well. And then I didn't mention about NSK Grocer over here. NSK Grocer right now they're doing pretty well. The reason why they're doing so well is because they actually they are very cost conscious. They actually like rent place where there is very less crowd. So this is their strategy. They actually go to places where there's not a lot of people. When there's not a lot of people, right, for the shopping mall, generally speaking, the rental will be cheaper, obviously, because you want to attract people, right? So that is where they go. And when they set up there, right, they actually manage to drive crowd into the mall. So that is the advantage for NSK Grocer. And also because their prices are quite cheap. And then for, I think there is TF value, this one I already talked about. Hero Mart, these are also doing quite decently, quite okay. The NSK Grocers number also is actually kind of like similar to the TF Value Mart, which is not over here. TF Value Mart actually is doing pretty good also. So yeah, that is basically some of the comparisons that we have for the hypermarkets financial. And the final thoughts we have over here is obviously different location will have different prices because the rental is like different. And also
strategy is so different, right?
Yeah, correct. And also some of the hypermarkets, for instance, like Lotus, they hire more local people. So
which is very interesting because they're Thai owned.
When I went there, there was like very little like foreigners as compared to like other groceries like NSK for other one. So that's something that I have noticed. And then the second one, which is layout. Just now we talked about the very rare, which is the salt and sugar being placed at a similar place, right? So I think this one is very important for customer experience so that you can just like pick whatever condiments or whatever products that you need straight away instead of like going to like different aisles and checking other places. For Lotus, I think this one is actually quite also segregated like around the place. It's quite wide also, so you have to find where is the products are being stored. So in terms of like layout wise, I think NSK Grocer did the best job among all of the hypermarkets so far.
Right.
Yeah.
So that would be your top pick as a consumer.
Yes, because it's very easy to grab and then you see that, I also need this one. Then I also take.
Yes.
So it can create some sort of like I won't say it's like impulsive buying, but it's like a by the way oh, since there's like the product over here, oh, maybe I also need this one.
Yeah, there's a lot of upsell.
Yeah, correct.
Indirect upsell, subtle upsell.
Yes.
Right,
Correct. Yeah.
But that's more for investors' point of view. It's good, right? Because-
Yes. Correct. It increases like the sales per
Yeah.
day or something. Okay, last but not least is why are we researching this? Is obviously because it have to do with FIRL Pro. And if you want to know what companies that we're gonna be initiating on for the upcoming FIRL Pro portfolio, I do make sure to subscribe to it. There is a 10% discount off in the description and comments. And yeah, I'm still doing more research. It's not only just going to be these 9 hypermarkets. There's more that haven't like visited. Because I also want to see whether some of the hypermarkets, do they have similar layouts in other areas, or is it like totally different?
Yeah, and I would just add why this is important is because I think the next phase of Malaysia's economy would be more sober, more austere, right? The word is austerity when it comes to Malaysian government spending. And I think the people will also do the same. And one area that, people will still have to spend money on would definitely be hypermarkets. And they are less affected with the tariffs, right? Or more indirect. So I think it's worth studying these hypermarkets because for a small country, don't you feel we do have quite a lot of hypermarkets?
Yeah, actually,
Right?
yeah.
If you think about
different brands, like different names.
yeah,
That's why I
even if
discovered.
you think, and this may be just my ignorance, if you look at like the US, right, they're so much bigger than us, but you barely hear others apart from Costco, Walmart, and
Costco,
it's
Walmart,
always
Target.
Walmart,
Yeah,
Target. That's it, right? And there may be 4 or 5 names. Here we have 9.
Yeah.
And there's a few not mentioned as well, right?
Yeah. There's quite a number that is
I
not
think
mentioned.
Eco Shop.
Eco Shop, this one is more of a house appliance,
Right,
not
okay,
non-food.
okay,
So there's like Econ Safe also.
Econ Safe, yeah.
But Econ Safe, I'll categorize them similar to like 99 Speedmart kind of like category. They are more small, mini convenience store. It's totally different thing. Not lot of things you can find inside Econ Safe compared to like other hypermarkets.
Yeah. So and of course we did not touch on the high end guys as well, right?
Yeah.
So it's a lot. So that's why we are very interested in this because we see this area to be quite exciting. So if you're interested to learn which are our favorite ones and why, hop on to FIRL Pro where you can read some of the write-ups. And of course go back and forth with us in our Telegram group, right? So, we sharpen the knowledge a lot better and you get to be more informed. If you want to get a sense of how we do it, check out our free sample, which is in the comment section and description. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.